Hey, it's Claire.
And it's Isabella.
And this is the Ginger Sisters podcast.
And today's topic that we're going to talk about is women's reproductive rights.
Now, Isabella, how do you feel about the law that women cannot have reproductive rights?
First off, it's stupid. I just want to go flat out and say that. Because if a 14-year-old girl falls pregnant, and she needs to get an abortion because she cannot financially support that child, and now we can't get abortions, so that 14-year-old girl is forced to have that child. But per se, a 14-year-old girl goes to adopt a child, she can't do that because they're gonna say like, oh, you're not financially stable, you don't have healthcare, So how can a 14-year-old girl not adopt a child, but she can be forced to have one? I just think that's just kind of stupid in a way. And what's your opinion?
My opinion, I would never get an abortion, but I feel like other people need that right because it's not just about one person's point of view, and I feel like when they were making that law, that's where they were coming from, because they didn't understand other people's point of views. And what I agree with what you said, I really do, but and people are entitled to their own opinion. I believe that strongly, but it's you're right, it's not right to do that. But people do have their opinions, and there's different point of views for everyone.
Yeah, that's like the perfect way to put it. And it's just kind of stupid how men chose to ban abortions and ban women's reproductive rights. It's
not their decision, honestly.
Yeah, it's not their decision because they're men. They physically cannot have children. They cannot reproduce in any way.
They don't know what it's like.
Yeah, and they don't know how childbirth is like, and that's kind of like the main. I feel like many of some reasons women need an abortion is either if they fall pregnant and they don't want to be pregnant, or if maybe they fall pregnant, they cannot financially support that child, which kind of goes towards my other say.
Okay, our next question is, if you were pregnant, would you want an abortion?
For me, there's a very small chance that I would actually get pregnant, but honestly, if I did fall pregnant, I would want to get an abortion 100%, because I cannot, if I got pregnant say 5 years from now, I would still want an abortion. If I even thought I was pregnant, I would be scared for my life. I'd be scared for the child that was growing inside me. I'm not a huge fan of children, in my opinion. I don't like children, like babies, if I do want a child, I would adopt or do IVF, but I don't like children, and I would just get an abortion right as I knew if I was able to.
Yeah. Like I said, in my opinion, not anybody else's, I would not get an abortion. Like you said, you would get an abortion because you don't like kids.
Because it's my opinion, and I don't like kids.
Yeah, but I like kids way more than you do, and so I think it's a really different experience to have that one-on-one connection with your child like that because of your age. But although the circumstances would be terrible, and for that that kid that had that baby, their life would be so messed up. So that's why I think it's important that they can get an abortion, but I would personally not. My opinion would not change at all, and I would just stick with it. I know that sounds bad because if you like, I just think I wouldn't have the heart to that.
do something like that. And some people,
knowing that
that's
I could have a child like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that is someone's opinion. I would very likely stick to my cats, my children, my source of children. And most, like, people who get pregnant at young, like under 20, they're like, their brains aren't developed. They don't know, like, specifically how to, like, take care of a child.
Yeah, I
and
get that.
Most of the time, whenever kids get pregnant young, they practically abandon their child because they don't know what to do. And it's hard.
There would be a lot less kids in like adoption agencies right now, and like so many people they're in the adoption agency, and it's just so sad because because most people right now, they're our age, you know, like younger, and they can't do that financially, like you said.
Yeah.
And I just think that they should be more open-minded and think about that next time they make a law like that.
Yeah, and especially because it was like the law was overturned by men.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they don't understand the trauma that young woman and anybody who can get pregnant, what they go through. Like, I mean, sickness, and also, like, it's hard to take care of a child because
especially by yourself.
Yeah, because, like, and also, I feel like this generation, people are always so rushed to, like, I guess, like, grow up fast.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone, like, in, like, friggin' middle school, like 6th grade, they all have their first kiss, they all have their first boyfriends and girlfriends and, like, partners, and this generation seems so rushed, and it's not safe for kids because, one, a child can die during childbirth. And the person giving birth can die too, and if that person is younger, there's more of a chance, you know, because they're not developed as they should be. Yeah, they're not developed as they should be. And I feel like all people care about is the child that is inside of a child. They don't really, whenever like someone tells you they're pregnant, you're like, oh, a baby. You don't think like, oh,
how
the
are
carrier's
you doing?
health. Yeah, like, how are you
what
doing?
What are you doing? Like
what are you doing?
What happened
to
you? Like, they're so focused on being mad at them that they messed up their life.
Yeah.
And not
like wondering how they got pregnant
or how they fixed it, like what their opinion is on that, or what they want to do about it. It's all what the other person wants to do, like, per se, the parents or the other person that helped with that.
Like, most parents back then, they're like, oh, my child's pregnant, like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I think if your child falls pregnant, you should ask, like, some questions before you get right into being mad at them. Yeah. Like, how did you get pregnant?
Like, and first of all, like, when those kids, like, get harassed like that, like, they're already going through something, they're already pregnant, you know? Like, why do you have to push that on them more? If anything, you should ask the boy, because...
Yeah, and I feel like parents, they're like, oh, wow, you're pregnant. Like, you need to, if you're a parent and your child falls pregnant, you need to stop and take a second. You can't just immediately get mad at them. You need to get some answers.
Yeah, and be calm about it, though.
Yeah, like, be calm, and don't, like, act as you're angry. You need to ask some questions.
Yeah.
Like, how did you get pregnant? Do you want to have this baby? Do you know how to care for a child? Do you know how to, like, financially care for this child? And,
like, are you okay, though?
Yeah, like, are you okay?
How do you feel about it?
How do you feel about it? Do you think that in the future you will still want your child?
Or will you have a future? You know?
Like,
will you get to go to college? Will you get to finish school?
Yeah.
Will you even have time to go to school, you know?
Yeah, like, will you have time for a job? Like, do you plan on having this child but also going to school at the same time?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's only 9 months. That's like half a school year?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have a child during school. And I also feel like it's kind of like, I'm not saying a baby is a pet, but it's honestly like having a pet, kind of.
But you can't leave it at home. You have to take care of it.
Yeah, you have to take care
more.
of it. Like, and if you are in high school and you have a baby, and especially if your parents were mad that you got pregnant,
Yeah.
they're probably going to be like, all right, well, that's your problem now.
And, like, some parents even kick you out of the house, and that's, again, why you don't need that law, because you can, like, if you get thrown out of the house, there could be that option to get an abortion, and your parents might love you again. Might not kick you out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but
now they can't have that opinion.
Yeah, and now you've emotionally broken your child, and like most kids who get kicked out, they don't have anywhere to go.
No.
So they're wandering the streets, pregnant.
Yeah. And, like, who's going to pay for that hospital bill, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, I just want to say, hospital bills are very high. Like,
Especially from inflation.
My mom, she was in the hospital for, I think, 2 days because she recovered pretty fast after my brother. And I mean, I'm pretty sure her hospital bill, she told me it was like over $40,000. And after I was born, I was kind of like just sudden, you know? Like, I came way before my due date. I think I came like a month before my due date.
Wow.
And I think my hospital bill was higher. And my mom only spent one night. She had an epidural. I don't think she had an epidural with my brother because I think she wanted a pretty natural childbirth. But second child, she was like, oh, I'm done. Give me that epidural. Okay, it's
Claire.
and Isabella, and this is the Ginger Sisters podcast, and this was our opinion on women's reproductive rights.
Bye.